What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles in the building. Welcome to tonight's show. Sonny, you want to say what up? Since we can get her off mute.
I'm sorry. Hey guys.
What's going on? Welcome to tonight's show. We have a great show lined up for you guys. Hopefully, the fellows will be showing up any minute here. Got a great topic on deck. In the meantime, as you can see, Sonny and I both have on some GFT merchandise, so make sure you guys go grab some of that over at our store. You can still use the old link above Sonny's head that says teespring.com/store/GFT, or you can use the new and improved website name, which is gftradio.creator-brain.com, which is popping up on the screen now. There it is down there at the bottom. So make sure you guys get over there, grab some of this great merchandise.
Yeah,
We have everything.
My cups come Wednesday.
Oh, right. Oh, shoot. I'm never ready with my cup. I should have my cup with me. But yeah, they have cups. They have actually they're glasses. They're beautiful drinking glasses. So make sure you guys grab one of those. They have t-shirts, hoodies. When you buy your hoodie a size bigger. I just realized that. I didn't realize I had bought my first hoodie a size bigger, and I bought the other one true to size, and it didn't fit. So make sure y'all get y'all hoodies a size bigger so that you can get it over your other clothes. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, we got great merchandise over there, great colors, great selection of styles and things to choose from, and you won't be disappointed for sure. You definitely won't be disappointed. Again, that's at gftradio.creator-spring.com. All right. So tonight we have a great topic on deck. We're going to be talking about some love and relationships. And this one is brought to you by the infamous. Well, it's not brought to you by, but this topic was inspired by the infamous KS. He had a kind of, I don't know if it was a topic or just a rant he was on, and he was talking about expectations while dating, and happened to mention that he felt that women should not date after dark if they don't want sex on the table. So that was his opinion, and so we want to discuss that tonight, and how we feel about the situation. So are you expecting sex when dating after dark? So we want to know how you feel about that. What's your take? What's your thoughts on that? While we discuss that as well. So make sure you stay tuned, and we will definitely get into that.
I'm sorry, I had technical difficulties. Me and this laptop having a fight today.
Oh, no worries, no worries. So yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, I saw that the other day, and I was like, that's got to be a dope topic because who? So after dark means like dinner dates. People usually go on dinner dates. So after
Well,
every dinner
he
date,
literally said 5 p.m. He literally
yeah.
said 5 p.m. is the cutoff unless you want to have sex with the man. So
I
he
hope I
says,
hope I hope men don't think that way. All men don't think that way. Like,
yeah,
do you
yeah.
think that all men believe that?
So let's first start off with that. Do all men believe that? Of course, I'm a man, so I'm gonna put my 2 cents in, as well as I definitely had conversations with others. Not only I think in the GFT radio, join the conversation group over on Facebook, where we have great conversations and topics, and you definitely should join that if you haven't joined it already. But yeah, so there was a great conversation there. There was a couple of the groups that had posted the same topic as well as discussed it, and the general consensus was that not all men think that. There were some men that felt that they didn't agree with the 5 o'clock timing, but they did agree that women should expect for men, women should anticipate men to expect sex during
That they
during dates that are in the later hours.
Yeah, I think if you and here's where my thought process is.
Mhm.
Um if you have somebody over your house, I don't know which water bottle I was drinking out of. But if you start to have like, see, I guess for me, for a long time, I didn't have babysitters. So I used to have people, or when I did have babysitters, and I didn't really want to go anywhere. If I had something at my house, like we hung out at, like if or they asked me to go to their house, that was my thought process. He probably trying to get some. Might not have been, but I understood that that might be his expectation. And for me, it was like, I need you to understand before I come over that man, like if it does happen, it does. But if it doesn't, like
Don't make
I'm
that
not
an
trying to,
expectation.
like,
Right.
don't make that an expectation. Same way, if you come to my house, you're not automatically going to get some.
So I had dated I've dated several women who are kind of in the same situation, no babysitter, or have limited interactions that they could do outside of the house because of whatever their situation was. One woman, she had a I don't know if it was her aunt or her mother or something like that was living with her, and was like, not invalid, but you know what I mean. But she had like issues where she couldn't do much, so she was always at home, and so she would invite me over more often than not. Of course, a couple of women with children would invite me over more often than not. And in those situations, I mean,
You like to let's hang out once the kids go to sleep.
Yeah, and the one thing is, the one deterrent is, okay, if you got either adults or children that are going to be up running around, I don't know any man who would think that means sex. You know what I mean? It's like, you got these kids running around, you're not humping tonight, But I'm sure there's men out there who are clearly clueless enough to believe that that's going to be a thing. And not to say that it ain't a thing, because I'm sure that somebody's out there having sex with their 2-year-old running around, right? So, but there's also the situation, like you said, where somebody may just be in a situation where they're just like, hey, come over, my kid's going to be asleep at X time, or going to be preoccupied, or whatever the case may be, come over at this time. But that could signal into that person's head, oh, that means it's going down, right? And I think that the conversations do need to be had in those situations where you can anticipate that there'll be a misunderstanding, or there'll be a miscue of what's to be expected, especially when it's, when we talking late, talking 11 o'clock,
late night, yeah,
right? You know what I'm saying? We talking 10, 11 o'clock at night, telling the person to come over to your house. I mean, I think we all are grown enough to understand that there's going to be some expectation of physical intimacy maybe going down. It doesn't have to be sex. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but somebody's going to be in the mindset that there's going to be some kind of physical intimacy. And if that's not what your expectation is, or if that's not your intention, no matter how late it is, then just having that conversation should be enough. Or having that conversation should be your plan or your strategy. Like, hey, I want you to come over after 11, but I'm only having you do this because my situation warrants that I can't have you here earlier, and I would like to see you, but I don't want you to anticipate that we're going to be in here making out or having sex or anything like that. I just really want to have a face-to-face conversation, have a drink, whatever the case may be. Or like you said, you could be 5-6 dates in or more, and you're like, hey, I want you to come over, and if it happens, it happens, but don't, don't
put that pressure. Yeah,
exactly. There's no pressure. There's none of that, and I think that if a person respects your feelings or your wants and needs enough, they'll respect that, right? Now, will they still be expecting it? That's the big question, right?
But I think at the end of the day, like, in this society, it could go either way. With how people feel or what people expect from a date, like any type of dating experience. I think now, like, it's not like the before, where you could go on a date at night and it's not expected, or you can go on the first date and you're not expected for the man to be like, because now, like, dating is different now. People get upset when they have to spend money. Some guys like throwing money at a situation, some guys don't. And they feel like if they spend a certain amount of money on you, you should give them things. Same way, and I say this and I'll be joking, sometimes I might be semi-serious. If I take a man on a date, best believe I'm getting the cheeks. Like I might, and I've said it, but like at the same time, I've taken men out on dates and didn't expect anything.
Right.
I don't. So I think our the what we need to change is our expectations of what it should be.
Right.
All dates aren't great. All situations may happen, but then the caveat to that is it was seen for women if you wanted to hump this guy on the first date, it was frowned upon.
Yeah, yeah,
So
indeed. That is
even if they
true.
wanted to, they're not going to do it because somebody's going to judge them and feel like they're not worthy enough to be in a relationship with different things. So I think that people expectations um are very different. It could be the thought process, but it's not even that. If you expect, I guess if you expect it, that's might be a problematic. But I feel like if you pressure somebody into thinking that, because I'm a big person of, and that's the crazy thing, like because I don't really go anywhere, especially now with COVID. COVID's changed a lot of things. People don't want to go out as much. I know for me, I didn't go out a lot during COVID or the pandemic either. So a
Right.
lot of dates were let's talk FaceTime, let's go to your house. Like if I feel safe, would you come to my house? You can come to my house. It was not, in my perspective, it wasn't in the view of you coming to get some.
Right. Right.
It was just chilling and getting to hang each other because we were quarantined. You can't really go anywhere.
Right.
So
Yeah, I mean, and that was the biggest thing with the, like you said, with the pandemic, and folks out there, were you more apt to invite someone to your home instead of going out on dates during the pandemic, during the height of the pandemic? Did you feel it was more appropriate to do that at that time? Definitely, let us know in the comments. But I think that a lot of times folks are already kind of conscious of like, okay, if I'm going to be dating, especially in this pandemic, that was a challenge, right? The challenge of dating in the pandemic was like,
it's hard.
how do you pull off dating when you can't go out or when you can't physically be in the presence of others, when you can't, you know what I mean? So I think that was a even bigger problem, during the pandemic. But I definitely agree that could have been also a door open for more in-person dating and more at-home dating and dating or going to people's houses instead of going out became more of a thing. So I feel like it was just more, you were more apt to do that, not with the intention of you have to have sex, but it could have been one of those situations where you felt like it was on the table.
Yeah, and even that, I just feel like the ideal of pressuring someone or making someone feel pressured to do anything is problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a guy, and I feel like that's on all sides because, like with dating, a lot of females feel like a guy got to basically break his pockets to feel like it's the expectation of. I think the expectations part of the dating outside of the normal stuff like getting to know somebody, having a good date is a good expectation, but expecting them to break the bank or have sex with you after a date is crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel personally, I think those expectations in when while dating are problematic.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I think a lot of people should be focused on the vibe, the connection, the conversation, um, all that type of stuff.
So let's say in your personal opinion or in your dating preferences, how or what's either the sign or the signal that a guy should expect that some kind of physical uh, 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 situation can occur on the date or after a date. What is it? So many dates, so much time.
For me, I don't know. It's not like I have to feel of a certain way about you. Not even like love or anything like that. It's just like I'm talking about connection and vibe. If we're vibing and we're connecting, like we're in that realm, anything's possible. Like
Right.
I'm more of a let's go with the flow and see how this thing goes. That's how you turn some dates. I've been on dates where we just go on a date and we just sit there and talk the entire night, like just all night, like not expecting that it's gonna happen, but like we said, go hang out somewhere and talk the whole night until like we basically don't want the night to end. You end up hanging out, and nothing has to happen other than us waking up next to each other and just still kind of continuing the date. Because in the morning time you make a breakfast talking and stuff like that. I think it depends. I mean, sure, I've had dates where the vibe was just like, and the connection was just on a level of which it hadn't exceeded for anyone else. So yeah, I might have got the draws, and we continued on with our dating on going forward, and it was a good connection for however long period of time it was, and sometimes it lasted longer than normal. So that's why I said I think if you go into dating experience with a person and you're not expecting sex, and you're just letting things flow, and y'all really vibing and stuff, it'll happen. Because if that person's really feeling you and they want to feel you in that way, they're gonna do it. But I think it's an issue when you make them feel pressure, because even if they were feeling the vibe, you make them feel pressure, they're not about to do it.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing is the pressure, right? Is how to justify what you're feeling and make and not make but have a person understand that without it being pressure. And I think that that's where a lot of people go wrong, is that they feel more entitled versus like they should be approaching, consent. Like that's been one of my things too, is like, okay, I'm not about to put you on blast for not accepting my physical advances, right? And I think
I know if I want it, the guy gonna know. Like right. if we vibe at what date 2, 3, 1, whatever, 4, 5, 6 date, and we on the vibe, and I want that. Oh, you're gonna know it.
Mm-hmm.
You like it's not gonna be like an automatic thing. But if we vibing like that, and I want to do it, I'm gonna do it.
Right. Yeah, Hank. It's definitely some layers to this conversation, and I definitely agree that this is one of those conversations that can go any direction, because it's real. Brittany said, I think if a conversation of sex was had before meeting, it wouldn't be crazy to expect sex for either side. I think the real issue is feeling entitled. If I say, I know we talked about sex, but I don't want to anymore, I need that guy to say, okay, that's cool, and not be in his feelings about it because he feels entitled to it. And I think that's the biggest thing is the entitlement, right? And I think that that's some of the things, when I did see the conversations, or when I did see the comments saying, hey, we're doing X, Y, and Z, so, she should expect me to want sex. And it's like, okay, that's fine that you are doing these things, but why does that mean that she should expect sex, or that she should expect you to want sex? Are you having this conversation with her? Are you asking her, or are you prepping her? Like, look, this is how I do when I'm dating. You know what I mean? And I think, let's get to that.
But see, here's a caveat to that too. Mm-hmm. So I've talked to people. We had a conversation about sex because I'm very open with talking about sex. Mm-hmm. I do it and probably won't even want sex for y'all. Shout out to Smooth in the comments. Hope you feel better.
Yeah, hope you feel better, bro.
But I feel like this because I have this issue too. So me and you are talking, and we can have the sex talk and have like conversations about it. Yes, I will understand that you probably I wouldn't be crazy in my mind to think that you might want sex because we had in-depth conversations about it, right? But say we do have sex, right? It doesn't mean every time I see you, I want to fuck you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
And that's the thing, because how do you get it? And that's why I said for me, I had to change up the way I was dating, and I took a break because the type of person I am, I'm comfortable with talking about it. We can talk about it in miscellaneous things and not really get raunchy, but just have real conversations about it. And the mindset for the guy that I'm either talking to is, and like I said, maybe I need to take that out of the conversation completely. Like I said, I'm working on me, but now your thought process is we're going to have sex every time we come over. So now I feel obligated to say, if I come hang with you and we're not going out, because we can go out. But I'm
Right.
saying every time I go to your house, every time you come to my house, your expectation is sex.
Mhm.
It makes me feel like I'm just an object. Yeah, you can take me out to eat. You can go out and do this, but for the majority, if I weigh what's happening more, that's what's happening more.
Yeah.
And I want to be seen as just that.
So and that's and I guess that's the big question too is are these low low
Definitely.
activity high expectations being mismatched, right? Because I mean, like you said, just going out to dinner and then a guy's like, oh, I took you out to dinner, so let's get to it. Like, wait, like I could go out to dinner by myself, or I can go to dinner
Right, I
with
can take
my
myself
with
out to
my
dinner.
friends, or I can go to dinner with just about anybody. Dinner is just a part of life, it's just food,
Exactly.
and how is you buying me a 20, 30, $40 dinner equate to me having to put out, right? So I think that's one of the things, that mismatch of what we're doing or what we're going through versus where we're going, where we're leading it to.
Exactly.
And
Because
to Smooth's point, he says most times a woman knows if she wants to have sex with you before you
that's
ask
big
her, but
facts.
don't force the issue, let it flow. And that's the thing. A lot of these guys are out here pushing the issue with the not only just the expectation, but like the pressure. And I know that we had this conversation or this topic in the GFT Join the Conversation group where the question was asked to women: have you had sex? What was the word? No. How did you put the question? Not.
It was, did you have sex? I forget how I worded, but it was like, did you have sex with even though you didn't want to, something like that. Like, did you
Yeah.
feel
It was,
obligated?
yeah. Did you feel? Yeah. It was basically like, did you feel obligated to have sex when you didn't want to? And I think that was it was not shocking, but shocking at the same time that
Like, eye
most women,
opening.
yeah, that most women said yes, that they've had sex, and I
I've done
know
it.
it was a couple women that mentioned that they felt they felt, what was the word they used? They basically felt like they felt bad for not, like it was like a not just that it was a pity sex, but that it was just like, they felt like they had to, even though they didn't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's sad and shocking at the same time, that a person would have to feel like that, like they feel like they have no choice because the person on the other side of it is pushing it to the point of, and they feel so entitled that you feel like you have to, agree to their entitlement. Hank says, in the midst of this pandemic, dating is a business decision. As a result of the mixed messaging from the powers that be, people have been left to create their own rules. That's very true, Hank. Very, very
Yeah.
true. We're just talking about like how are people even navigating being in the dating space during the height of the pandemic, when going out was either not an option or a very limited option, as well as there was a lot more opportunity for people to say, okay, we're just going to date at home or date at a specific place. Smooth
Yeah.
says, in my opinion, sex is better when the woman initiates it. If she really likes you, then she's going to give it to you in due time. Yeah,
That's
indeed.
facts.
Indeed. That's big facts. Yeah.
And I feel like even with the guys, like it's guys that probably had sex and didn't want to. Very rare.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's also a thing too. Like, they may have been too tired, but then, with women, we don't like rejection.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Smooth said, let's be real. When men expect sex because of dinner, then he honestly doesn't think highly of that woman. That's true. That's very
Yeah.
true. Because I mean, like you said, it's just or going back to Hank's comment about being a business decision. I mean, he just made he determined that you were just worth a $40 investment or a $30 investment in this meal. Like, I'm going to invest this 20, $30 into this meal to get, coochie out of her. That's all he's thinking about. And he's not thinking about that, because the thing is this. I think a lot of times what some of the commenters out there, I won't put this on men in general, because it's not men in general for sure. But I think that some of the people who make these kind of comments, that put these kind of expectations out there about dating, their whole intent is not to be in a loving relationship that's going to stand the test of time. That's not their intention. When they
Yeah.
say things like, well, I took her out and I spent money on her, so she got to give up the goods. Or I did this and I did that. You know, why don't I get anything out of this? And it's like, well, aren't you getting this companionship out of it? Or aren't you getting this opportunity to learn about this woman that you just, you know, decided to take out on this date? You know, the way I look at it is like, if I'm taking a woman on a date, I want companionship. I want to be able to have someone there by my side that can enjoy this experience with me. That's all I care about at this moment. I don't care about the after effects, the bonuses at the end. That's not my intention. My intention is like, I want to be able to go somewhere and enjoy an experience with someone else. And I would rather prefer it be a young lady. Not, you know, not that I have to get something out of it at the end of it. You know, if that comes about after so much time of being with that woman, then, you know, that it is what it is.
That's true too. I that's why I said, I mean, I say it's rare only in the count that most men won't admit that.
Yeah.
Not too many men will actually admit that. I've dated guys who I pissed off and I wanted something. They was like, I gave you that. And then, you know, I took them down and it was like, did I talk to you? I'm like, whatever. Because I knew they didn't want to, but I'm like, hey. But, you know, I was trying to
get to that. I want to get to that in a second too.
I was trying to make things up.
Yeah, Hank said, in the context that you guys are speaking presently, people need to rigidly adhere to their personal constitutions. Dinner and a movie doesn't necessarily equate to getting ass. Exactly, Hank. Exactly. Smooth says, not rare, Sonny. It's time I have had sex when I didn't want to at all. Women do stuff to turn men off without realizing that at times, obviously, it goes both ways. And yeah, I agree. Like I haven't been in that situation too often. There was definitely a couple of situations. There was a one young lady that I did not want to have sex with, and even though I did find her extremely attractive, I found her to be a great, you know, companion in terms of going out and doing things. She always had great ideas about places to go. You know, when I had ideas about things to do, she was always game. So it was like, you know, we had a good dating relationship, but I did not want to have sex with this woman. Mainly just because I knew she was a little crazy too, and I was like, I didn't want her to be.
Sprinkles.
Huh?
You knew she had a couple sprinkles.
Yeah. I mean, she had a few screws loose, so I was like, you know, I didn't want this to escalate to something that I couldn't handle. You know what I mean?
That's why you don't blow on her ass.
Right, and I felt like having sex with this woman would escalate this to something that I didn't want. So I said, you know what? No, and she started putting pressure on me. She started to try to get me into situations or trying to coerce me into doing things with her. And I'm just like, no, I'm good. I'm good. And she'd be like, oh, don't you find me? I find you highly attractive. Like, yeah, I do. But no, let's go to do this or let's go do that. And that's all I want. Then I had a situation like I think I was telling you about after that last show when we were doing about being having
back to
what do you say?
He put once we're hard, we lose all common sense. Exactly. So when you mad at me, it's like, no, baby, let me fix it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like,
that's
no,
true
I'm like,
yeah, sometimes
he's game. You just got to be game. He's already ready for me.
Right. So sometimes our little head gets the best of us and forces us to do things we didn't want to do, and that's happened to me before. Where it's like I didn't really want to do this, but now that we're here in this situation, that happened with a friend of mine some years ago, where I was like, I was definitely riding that fence of like I was attracted to her, but I also didn't want to mess up the friendship situation. And we both, just pushed it to that level. And then I was like, we're already here. We might as well dive in. You know what I'm saying? And, she was very persistent and I couldn't resist. Did I expect it? Definitely did not expect it. Did I want it? I kind of wanted it. I just wasn't wanting it at that moment. You know what I mean? But it was like, I was like, hey, it is what it is now, but there was a situation where a young lady wanted me. I did not want her. I didn't want to be with her. And because I was intoxicated, she took advantage of that. Right. Yeah. I was unfortunately, I was passed out, but that's always problematic. But, I think that there's times and there's situations where we are, like you said, in control, and we don't get a chance, or not get a chance, we don't make the right decisions because we don't stand by our constitutions, like Hank mentioned earlier. Hank just said the flip side, one time isn't qualified by the price of dinner and a movie either. It's a whole vibe. That's what folks should pay attention to. Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah,
that's where I'm at with it. It has to be the vibe, the connection, or whatever you need to feel that person, and not necessarily like. And that's the thing. If the energy and the vibe can get you a lot of places. Like if everything is smooth, easy going, and that's more to what Clint said. If she going to do it, she gonna do it. But like if the vibe and everything is there, and she feels like her spirit, that's what she wants to gift you with some of her cookies, then let her gift it to you. Don't make her feel obligated, because the easy breezy, yes, you may want sex. In the back of your mind, you're like, yeah, I want to tear her ass up. You might think that. She might be thinking, yeah, I'm tear this nigga up. Like she may feel that same way. But the vibe is off, so it don't work that first time. The second date may be a crazy vibe and it might happen. Third date, whatever. Whatever date number you're on, it could happen. But like it's the vibe and the energy. And if you really, the conversation is flowing and everybody's in a great spirit and y'all really having a good time, then that's how it can happen. But people just be with that pressure, and people can feel that.
Right.
Because it's like dumb little stuff you do that just like, yeah.
Brittany said she remembers she was made to feel bad that she didn't want to have sex once by the guy saying, I just really enjoy having sex with you, as a way for her to be like, oh, I should just do it. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, being coerced by compliments, by suggestions of the fact that that's been the thing that they do. It may not even just be him saying, I like doing this with you, but it may be her feeling like, the fact that he might say, oh, well, we did this before, it should be okay now, or we always do this, we always go out here and then we come back and, whatever. And it's like, having that be the pressure point or the entitlement. That's that entitlement. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's that entitlement.
I felt obligated a couple times, and oddly enough, I felt like it's times I wanted it. Mm-hmm. Like wanted it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no. And it was like everything was on point. But I know that because that vibe and that energy was so crazy, I couldn't do that. That was too soon to just, because the way it would have went down is the way it would have went down, and then we'd be sitting like,
yeah. I mean, that's a whole nother issue. Smooth just said truth. I got some before. I had no idea it was going to happen. Her exact words were, we were vibing and it felt right. And I mean, and I think that's beautiful. That's the way it should be. You should be able to get into a vibe, into a situation, and feel like, hey, this is happening because the night is going right. The vibe is going right. The feeling is going right. The energy's right. And not anybody putting undue expectations on you, not anybody making you feel like you have to do something or make you feel bad for not wanting to do something. And it all comes down to just making sure that, everybody's comfortable in the situation. You know what I'm saying? Even if you, like you say, you're like, do I really, really, really want to, about, whatever the case may be, so I think that it's always just important to, like Smooth said, let it flow. So going back to what you were just saying about, and of course I just forgot it. I was just about to ask the question. You were literally just saying
about how you won it, and then you just like,
oh, that's what it was. So basically, like, have you been in a situation where you felt like the sex, not that the sex was bad, but just the sex, the act of having sex with that person before you wanted to was end up ruining the relationship or ruining the situationship?
I think only happened one time, but that was because my expectations were different in that department.
Gotcha.
And it was nothing that they did. It was just, and I think that for me, it was the years of liking this person and wanting that person, and it was like, this is what you have to offer.
Oh, was it because the sex was bad, or was it because
it was more of like what it just, it's one of them things where you can tell how a person is used to a certain way of females being being a certain way with them, and I'm not that person. Like everything doesn't work for everybody. So what you thought was going to work because everybody, all the other females you with, don't really care if you pay attention to them. They're just happy to say they slept with you.
Right.
That didn't do it for me. I need you to do more. So I was let down, and it's like, but damn.
Let's go back to this question here that Hank just had. He says he gets the restraint, but he says if it feels right, why hesitate? Just curious. I think this was a question in response to Smooth's comment about the.
No, I think he's talking about what I said.
Oh, what you said? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I think for me personally, it's one or two things. With this particular person, if we were to do it, it's not an open and shut case. We can't be just because there's history, past history, right, and the years gaps in between. Like you talking about kids, so we grown ass people now, that had some experience and life changing and stuff like that, right? So if it was to happen now, it can't for us. It can't be because the vibe is crazy and all that stuff. It's not going to be. Oh, that's what we just doing.
Okay.
So for that person in particular, if we gonna do it, we got to figure out like the kinks. Now, the other reason that I've hesitated outside of that is because I know me, and like what he said, you don't need nobody acting crazy. Not that I'm the best person ever, but like they was talking hella shit, and it's like, all right, bro. My goal is to take you down, and if I do it the way I want to, you're not gonna leave me alone. So, do I want to walk into that or not? And then on top of it, for me, it's like if I get a certain vibe from somebody and I'm not comfortable with them, I can't, like, it's the shut off button of this is not expected all the time.
Right. Yeah, and that was the situation I was in. Yeah, that was the situation I was in where I didn't want to end up with this woman and or with this woman expecting more out of me or wanting more from me than I was willing to give. There's certain people when you are vibing with them and everything is going right, but it's like I like what's going right now. That's it. I don't need anything more than this. I also feel like I've been in situations where I felt that I could be more comfortable in just this extended friendship of like we can go out on dates, we can hang out, we might even kiss, but I don't want to do more than that. I'm not about to put us on another level and be tied to you where you feel like we have to be in a relationship going forward, or where you may feel like this is progressing into a relationship going forward that I may not be ready for or that I may not want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or it could be like I said, an epic letdown. That vibe and that shit is crazy. And then what happens if it's just meh? Like it's like that could happen. Like really, like realistically speaking, that could really happen. Like you'd be all geeked up and excited, and then he the bust in under a minute, or her pussy is just whacking and whacking, drier than the saltine sea, like, or she just laying there like a dead fish on the log because she used, like, it's so many levels to that for me, and that's the reason why I say I always had this running joke. Like when I need some, I gotta call for cycle some stuff because I be scared to get new stuff, because you get new stuff and it's like I've been holding out for this long and I finally get some this bullshit, I'm gonna be mad. Right. So like that's why I say I always order my friend, my homie Rosie, say recycle some buns. That's what
well, I'm about to say I can imagine that, good or bad.
Yeah,
sex can end up ruining a relationship, but bad sex can definitely ruin a relationship.
Yeah, like you start out with the vibe and all of a sudden wah 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 wah. It's like,
yeah,
I wasted the good surprise on you.
But what about those people that wait until marriage for sex, right?
No, I don't know how they do that. I don't got time for that. I need to know what's happening before I get in there, because I need to know whether I need to train you, or maybe I need to be trained on what you like, because I ain't the best. I think we clear on understanding that everything ain't for everybody. Everything that work for everybody don't work for everybody. But yeah, we keep going back to that word, expectations. Everybody have different expectations, because even with talking about sex, you could be let down by the conversation. Yeah, like they talked all this shit and they came in here and did this rigmarole. What? So, and that's why I said the word for tonight is expectations and entitlement.
Yeah. Smooth said, or both had different expectations. He says communicate with each other. Yeah, definitely the communication part is key. Especially when you're in this relationship with a person where sex is on the table, and then you, like you said, you have expectations or needs that need to be fulfilled, and then they can't fulfill them. I've definitely been in a situation where I felt like I felt like a person was not able to fulfill my needs completely, and that because the he says his whole house is still up.
Yeah, the
whole house,
all of them up. Everybody up, happens to the old time. Nobody cares about what he doing.
I know how that is. So having bad, it may not have been bad sex, but it wasn't great sex, and and it's like, okay, that's not going to work for me, and I just can see that it's not, it's not going to fulfill my needs, and it's like you said, you may be like, okay, well, can this person be trained, or will they accept, modifications to what they're doing?
First of all, Clint, don't start, because that's
wants you to blow in their butt, right?
I'm here for that. That's like the best shit ever. Like that's like the go-to. If all else fails, go on my ass, we're good. We're figuring it out.
Exactly. It works. It does work. Honey says, I'm still here. Oh, what up, though, bro? Yeah. Appreciate you being in the comments.
But
so I think that from a standpoint of, even if it's good sex, I think sometimes people just get overwhelmed, right? They'll be like, okay, you know what, this was good and this was great, but now that this has happened, the relationship is different, and now they're scared and they run. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's something that happens too, is that people get in that situation where even when it's good, they feel like it's too much and that they can't really, deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that's it. And like for me, bad sex to me, because I want to definitely define bad sex to me. Because here's my thing about
good sex.
The only way I think bad sex is when you don't pay attention to the person that you're having sex with. Like, to me, that's bad sex. You're not paying attention to them, so you're not listening to their needs. You're assuming that what works for everybody works for them, and it cannot work for them. So I think that, yes, while you're meeting somebody, it may be new and stuff like that, but you have to get to know that person. Yeah, the first time you have sex may not be great, but then again, the connection might be there and might be live and on the popping. But at the same time, it's like bad sex to me is somebody that doesn't want to get better.
Yeah.
Because, or learn anything. Because if I'm with somebody and they like a certain thing, I want to know that, because I'm gonna ask questions. Like, I'll do normal stuff that I know probably will work, but I might not, because like I'm gonna get into I'm gonna dive into a little sex with Sonny, but not really, because all men don't like receiving oral. To some females,
what's wrong with them?
or don't get off with that. Right. Some females think that that's the go-to. Mm-hmm. It might not be for that person. So the willingness to learn your partner is what makes sex good. Like, yeah, the first time is always weird. You don't really know stuff. You just doing like the standard issue shit.
I've never had a weird first time. I'm always good on the first.
But no, because like when you, I think it's. I go
straight for the blow in the butt. That's just me though. So.
You know what? This is why you have crazy people acting crazy around you. I told my friend. I told one of my friends. he was like, "This girl's crazy," and I kept asking, "Did you blow on her butt?" He like, "Man, why you ask me that?" And I'm like, he kept telling me what she was doing. In her mind, she was making a relationship with this nigga. This nigga was like, "I don't want to be in a relationship with her." And I'm like, "Did you blow on her butt?" He like, "No, I didn't." Why you keep asking me that? And one day he finally answered, like, "Yeah, I did." You got to eat ass responsibly. You got to eat coochie responsibly. You can't do everything to everybody because if you blow on some girls' ass, it's like a crazy button. Just
yeah. Oh no, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, like you said, you got to be responsible with it because that's a power.
Guys,
that's a great power that comes with great responsibility for sure. And Haim just said you can never go wrong with some good head. Either way,
but some guys don't.
Either way, women giving men head,
some guys don't.
Women head. You never.
Some guys don't necessarily. It does nothing for them. Like it's not. They're not going to get off of it. So you're doing it, and it's.
But to the same point, sometimes guys don't know what they're doing, or they're doing a head technique on a woman that some other woman like, and it's not working on this new woman because she may need it differently.
All I know is if you lick ice cream, just like up and down, and that's it, you're fired. I need you to put that shit in your whole entire mouth and listen.
Smooth said, I had a lover where the sex was great in the beginning, but got stale after a while. I also have had sex when it was awkward in the beginning, but down the line it was incredible. And yeah, and that's the thing. Some people you can have. Some people, and that's the crazy thing. There's certain people out here who will have amazing, passionate sex up front, like the first few times, and you end up feeling like, oh man, this is great. And then after a while, they just want to do standard issue stuff, right? Or they're always tired, or they're always, they can't go rounds no more, all that kind of stuff. And then you have people who, like he said, and like you guys were saying earlier, that first time could be awkward because everybody's like clunky, they don't know what to do, they don't know what buttons to push.
Yeah, and next time it's like boom, bow.
Yeah, and as you grow into each other, you start to realize, like, oh, wait a minute, this is what I need to do, and this is what you need to do to me, and then you both are vibing, and next, it's better.
No,
my brother always says that, so I get it. Copy that.
Yeah. No, but I had somebody that
I copy that shirt for him.
Right. I had a guy that I liked for forever, and like we finally, like the vibe and everything was always good. And we finally had sex, and I swear to God, I stopped talking to him. I can't call this nigga no more after this. I can't. Like whatever it was, crazy button activated. Like he activated the sprinkler crazy. I was like, nigga gonna have me stalking, and I don't got time to do it. Like that's how I was in my mind. And he was like, well, why you ain't call me? Like it's been like he had to call me, like, well, what's going on with you? You ain't called me. It's been 3 weeks. And I'm like, yeah, so like you can't just do that and then leave me and go on about your business. Like, well, sir, listen, I need you to know that you can't. That's how people go crazy. Like you can't. Like I wasn't expecting that, and you just came in here and touched my soul, my spirit, and sent me off to Jesus, and then left. I was trying to figure out right. I wasn't ready. But I think it depends. Like sometimes it'd be great, sometimes it don't. Sometimes it just feels like standard issue. I'm all about, like I said, toys are always talk about it on Sex and Sunday all the time. Toys are an option, role plans, miscellaneous things you could do by situation. If something gets stale, have a conversation. And that's the problem people don't have. And like Clint said, you got to communicate, because if you've been with somebody for however long and it's just getting stale, hey babe, listen, we need to figure this out because this is getting thing. Let's try this. Let's try that. Like, and be open to trying them things, new things. Stranger, like, going out to a bar, you don't know this person, they picking you up. The little cute, little stupid stuff that people do.
Right.
I gotta find my charger for my shit.
Brittany said, then there's some of us blessed that have great sex every time. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So the bonus question of the night before we end this great topic is, when you're dating multiple people, when do you start to drop the extras once you've disappeared on me? I'm gonna ask the question when she comes back again.
All right, I had to find my charger.
When do you start to drop the extras once you found the one? So
here's my problem. This is my dating problem. We talked about this so many times in the podcast. I don't date multiple people. Like, so I'll talk to somebody, they seem cool. Somebody else, somebody meet somebody randomly. Here go my number. If I got to vibe with this one person, I don't give a fuck about these other people. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not giving you my time or nothing like that. I'm just
Gotcha.
not like, and that's why. And maybe I'm dating wrong, but I'm that person that date one person at a time and waste my time with them before I feel like they ain't shit, and then move on and take
Right.
a break from dating and then date somebody else. I'm one of those people. I date one person at a time, so I don't have to kick everybody else to the curb. It's just I was talking to you. I like you. You're my person until you're not my person.
Got you. Got you. Smooth
Yeah,
says, I don't like dating multiple people at a time either. So
yeah.
looks like
I'm
that.
I'm very one, and everybody's like, you should date. They're supposed to have options. I don't like. It's just I talk to you. I talk to you more than I talk to this person. We vibe. You're my person. That's it. I'll
Got you.
hump
Get you
you when I
get
want
you
to.
get focused. You get focused in immediately.
Yeah, like especially like
Yeah.
I mean, I really won't pay no attention. You have to be consistent with me for me to actually be like, all right, because like I've got people that text me, hey, good morning, beautiful. Hey, good morning. How was your day?
Grand Risings Queen
Yeah,
Mother.
all that stuff. And like I'll in the inbox, the DMs and all that. And it's probably only one person I'm texting consistently because they talk to me outside of the random good morning. We have conversations throughout the day. So if you show me consistency and you talk to me every day,
Right.
then you got my attention.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if we can keep a conversation throughout the day and not be stupid menial conversations, that's even better. So then you're my person. And that's it until you're not. And until you cross me or do something weird that I don't like, do something uneasy.
Okay. So do you determine that that person is will be your boyfriend, or you just feel like that's just a person that you're currently dating and you're not giving any you're just not consciously giving anybody else the time of day, but you're not exclusive to the person. Is that what you're saying? Like how is that working?
So I'm in my mind,
Mhm.
and it may not be in there. This is how my last situation went awry, and he told me we weren't dating, even though he was doing boyfriend shit, right? Doing everything, buying groceries, miscellaneous, fixing up house, fixing stuff in the house, whatever, right? So for me, it's in my mind, I'm dating you.
Okay.
Um, so I'm gonna treat you like we're like, even though we're not really dating, we're still getting to know each other.
Mhm.
I in my mind, how I think we're dating. So it's just me and you. I'm not going to really give like people say good morning to me. I'll still acknowledge them and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But you have my attention. Probably if you're consistently communicate with me on an everyday basis, you have my attention more than anybody else has my attention. Like you'll get the how was your day? Oh, miscellaneous stuff like that, whatever. But I'm probably not even fucking you or anybody else. Like that's and And if I was talking, like say if it was two people that had my attention and they were consistently talking to me, and I was like, well, I don't know which one I want to make my person. If whoever I fuck, that's my person. Because I felt like once I fucked you, that person's out of the picture. It's just you because now I solidified. But like it doesn't even have to be sex for me. Like it doesn't have to be sex that make me single that person out.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just the connection and vibe with
It's just
that
the
person that
connections.
I will not be bothered with anybody else because consistency is for me is everything.
Got you, got you.
So
Smooth said the problem is that most people be dating for months. He doesn't like to long term date. He says if I don't see a future with you, I'll move on. And I definitely get that. I it kind of probably
I be
how
dating for months.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's that fine line, right? Because you have people like Sonny who even though they're not they're
That might
even
not
though
like
they're
you.
dating exclusively, they're not tying a person down specifically, but they still feel like that's their person. And then you have the situation where these people are dating long term and with no intentions of ever doing anything other than just dating. And then, you have people who want to be only in a relationship. So if they start dating, they're like, okay, I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna date only because I want to immediately get with somebody who I can be with, and that's it. Now, once I find that person, then I'm focusing in on that person and I'm moving forward to move forward, not to
Yeah. No,
to do anything outside of that.
I
So I
date
think
for
there's a
months.
lot of different ways of doing this for sure.
Yeah, I definitely date for months, but I I and the mindset is I want to be in a relationship. Not right now because I'm not dating at all. But although I do have a person, but that's beside the point.
Yeah. So
But
Hype has a great question here. He says, "Is that on him because you feel like that? So is it on the guy? Is it is it on him that you feel like he's your person and he's your one because of the things he's doing? It's like buying groceries and fixing things around the house and
see, it's a mixture of both. Here's why. Here's why I say this. So if I'm not sleeping with you, there's no obligation for you to do. There's nothing, even though you're my person, is I have limited to very small expectations of you, right? Because I just take you like we're not sleeping together. So I'm just hanging out with you or we're getting to know each other, so like that, whatever. But it's less of a anything if we're not sleeping together, right? Because that's to me, that's where I'm a little different. But the situation with the guy was we were sleeping together. You was around me every day. You was in my house as much as I was at your house. I couldn't go anywhere any store anywhere locally that you took me that I could pay for anything. Went out to dinner, hung out, went to family functions, all the stuff like that. You bought groceries, bought stuff for my house, miscellaneous stuff. That's boyfriend shit. You don't want to be my boyfriend, you shouldn't be doing those things. Like if I didn't want to wake you up to take me to work, you were mad because I didn't wake you up. Sorry.
So Smooth said, did y'all have that conversation before you assumed this?
I said that. No, but we had multiple conversations. It was multiple conversations. And I used to tell him, like, then you need to not do. Like, same way with anybody, like anybody currently in my, like any male that's in my life, right? Or that I'm talking to. I always say, like, there's no obligation for you to do. Like, I'm very, very self-sufficient. And I'm that way for a reason, right? I don't lean on you to do anything for me. If you choose to do stuff for me, that's fine. But we're always communicating. And like this is why people feel this way. Yeah. You want to know why this is happening because this is what you're doing. And if you don't do this, there's no because if you're treating me like your girlfriend in every sense of the girlfriend experience, like, because I'm not paying no nigga bills that I'm not with. I'm not doing certain things, and nor has any guy I've ever dated done stuff for me that wasn't a boyfriend of mine. Like boyfriend, not somebody I'm talking to, wasn't a boyfriend of mine. So when you do these things, this is the nice guy to everybody. But this is the expect, and I'm telling you, this is why I'm feeling this way. So if you let me be and go about my business, we're good. You didn't want to let go of that. You still want to do stuff, and it's like you don't listen. I'm telling you not to, because this is giving me an ideal in my head that this is what this looks like, and not only me but everybody around us thinking that we're together and we're not. So it's not just my thought process; it's right. A lot of people's thought process. So if that's not the image you want to portray to people, then don't do it. Don't do half the shit you're doing for me, because I was doing it before you.
So Haim said maybe he's just a nice guy. So I just had this conversation with someone else that was talking about, the things that people were doing for them. She made the kind of same comments, is that there were guys who would be, taking her out to certain places that only a husband or a boyfriend would take her, doing things for her around the house that only a boyfriend or husband would do, that she was having, she might have a car issue or something, or she might have a whatever. And the guy would come in and take care of that. And, having those kind of things in a relationship is what a lot of women expect. But then bringing that back to a situation where you're dating someone and they've decided to do those same things, it can be confusing, right? It can be,
because you're not wanting me to be a nobody, and that's it's a caveat to things, because you as a man don't want me to be let any man walk up talk to me anywhere. And you're you're like you, and I'm like constantly saying this is the issue, and then you get upset if I feel this way. And it's like, because you're
so even in a situation where you could have had somebody else, he would have tried to put a spark.
I've had people come fix stuff, and who that? Wow, I seen blah blah. Like, do I say anything? So now when I start making comments of what you're doing, it's a problem. Oh, I'm not your boyfriend. Okay, but then if I'm at the store and somebody in my face talking to me while you in the store with me, not my boyfriend, and
Oh,
they
that's
burn it up.
also he was just crazy then.
Burn it up, and you was mad, about it, and had a whole rant and rave on walk from the store. So he gonna talk to you like he ain't seen me standing there. You're not my boyfriend. Because are we together? Because that's what you tell me. So I need you like, yeah.
You literally could have said, "This is my little brother." So exactly.
Like, but that's the thing. Like, it's not just the like. I'm not going to get all into it, but like, it's more to the story. So, like I said,
got you.
Outside looking in, a lot of people, like, it wasn't just me having conversation with this person. It was multiple people. Was like, well, why are you? This is what you're doing. This is how it looks.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I've been in that situation where I've done things for a woman that was probably boyfriend stuff, but I was doing it like Smooth said. He chose to do it because he fucks with you. You probably helped him out in some way, and he was returning the favor. And that's how I look at it. Like, I'll be like, well, she's doing things with me and doing things for me, and I'm going to do things for her. I'm going to do things.
I've got relationships. I got friends. I got relationships with males that look me out. I look them out. And there's no sex involved. We just look each other out. Like, that's the type of vibe relationship we have. Like, we're just cool like that. So if I need to help you out with something, they'll come over here and help fix something. If they need me to do something, I got you on lock. That's not. It was more. Like I said, it's more than that. But
well, I mean, you don't have to say that there's no sex involved. Even if there was sex involved, let's just say that there was like, oh, we just occasionally have sex, but we're not in a relationship together. We just happen to still look out for each other. We might have had sex a year ago or 6 months ago.
But that's like
that person is still a good friend of mine, and they'll do whatever.
Yeah.
I think that happens, and it can be
that's understood. It's not a delusional thought, but if you're consistent day-to-day basis.
Yeah, but to your point, like you said, I think the part we missed up front was that it wasn't just him being there every day. It's just him wanting to control the narrative on both sides. That's what he was doing. Because if he's telling you we're not in a relationship, so when you see me out here in these streets, turn your head, but then he comes and he does relationship stuff with you and then says, look, I'm doing all this for you, so don't be out here doing stuff with other guys or letting other guys help you or acting like that single. He didn't say in so many words.
Yeah, I was single, but he was single.
He's like, no, look, he's not telling you in so many words to not be out here acting like you're single, but he putting that pressure on you to not act like you out here single because he has a problem with that. That's him trying to control the narrative. I mean, it's controlling behavior, it's classic controlling behavior where he wants to control the narrative on both sides. He wants to have his cake and he wants to eat it too, and he doesn't mind doing the work in the middle, But it's like that's confusing.
That's why I said for me, it's like I had to learn to set boundaries even with people that I'm around. It's like, yeah, I can hang around you, but you can't be here every day. You can't be up under me every day. That's going to be a problem. Yeah, I'm going to get attached. And so if we're not that vibe, you can't be up under me every time you get free time. You're just always up under me. So that's the thing. Like I said, and it's the same way with us females. If me and you are not dating, you don't want me coming to your house every day because then I'm going to be under the impression that we're dating. Gotcha. If I'm doing everything for you, anything you can call me to do anything and just miscellaneous, I'm doing girlfriend shit without a girlfriend title. And I'm always, every time I'm free, I'm up under you. You're going to be like, listen, this ain't what it is. I'm going to need you to get up out of here and go on about your business. Like, go on home, you smothering me. So that's the thing. Like I said, it's one thing to understand the difference of the situation. So for me, like I said, I know where my limitations are. So I need, like, I'll tell somebody, you can't do this because this is my thought process. Understanding that this may not be where you're at, but this is how I understand this to be. So if that's not what you want, don't give me that impression by doing this and that. And I understand you may like to do that, but I don't need you to do that right now. Like I've told people, I like you, we can hang out, but don't be over here. You can't be over here every day. Because if we hang around each other every day, it's going to be a problem. So, and that's how I feel like, that's why I said friends with benefits, the friends with benefits situation or buddies, the F-buddy situation don't work too much. Because if you're sitting there telling your life story to somebody, you start to develop feelings, you start caring about their day, missing, like it's just levels to it. So if that's what we're going to be, then don't fucking talk to me all the time. Like, go ahead and be about your business. I don't care about how your day was. I don't know who did what on your job and why you mad and why you and your mom and your brother beefing. Like, I don't give a fuck about none of that. Come over and give me something, get the fuck out and go about your business.
Indeed.
That's how a buddy system worked for me. The benefit is I can call you when I want some penis, but you can call me when you want something. We can get something and go on about your business. We don't have to have.
I mean, like you said, I mean, it creates a false narrative, right? It creates a false narrative, as well as it puts people in a bad situation. Like you say, in your situation, you felt like you were obligated to be in this pseudo relationship that turned out to not be a relationship because he felt like he could just be out there doing what he wants because he's single and not in a relationship, but he wants you to live like you're in a relationship, and that's not right. That's not right. I mean, that's a very entitled way of living and an entitled way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, no, you can't adhere to that or live by those rules for sure. Yeah.
But what's the after talk conversation? He putting up everything. Huh?
I didn't really have one. I was trying to think of one while I was putting up these banners.
Oh, I got a topic, and I'm gonna tell you because I was talking to somebody about it, and I know we could bring it up for a show, but we're not gonna get into detail. Oh yeah, you gotta ask a question, after show question. That's dope.
Yeah. Oh, let us know. Let us know. We ready. We ready.
But I think we should have a conversation about priorities.
Priorities.
Yeah, like dating somebody who's like I know we talk about dating, but dating people or going out in the dating world when your priorities are not in order.
Oh yeah, no doubt, yeah.
I was having a conversation with somebody, how people just be living that flash life for social media, but be really ain't got their life together in real life, like that kind of vibe, or dating people and they both of them ain't got their shit together, and y'all both unproductive and toxic, So right, what's the question, Clint? I think that'd be a dope topic.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll definitely put that on the list. I got a laundry list of topics going on, and
we supposed to do Sex and Sunday this week.
Yeah, well, you gotta let me know what it is.
I put it in the updated for the date.
Oh, you did? Okay.
How long I think we're gonna finally do the how long sex lasts, because the next one will be the part 2. Okay. Yeah, the next one will be the part 2.
Okay.
From the other show.
Yeah.
These cats are trying to get in my room. Clint, what's your question? What your question?
Did we lose him? All right. In the meantime, while we're talking about it, make sure y'all get with us. We got tons of content, including several shows to keep you entertained and informed. Here every Monday, 10 p.m. on the GFT Radio Show. Oh, here we go. Okay. So
what?
Have y'all seen? Oh, he says, have y'all seen the video where the little boy licked some lady's butt? I didn't see the one where a boy licked the butt. I did see the one where the little boy rubbed the woman on the butt, and then they all just started laughing about it.
I'm glad I did not see that video. Thank God. Because
right.
The DCF case waiting to happen.
You're right. Exactly. It's so funny that all these places have different names in different cities. Because I'm like, that's, for us, it's CPS.
Child Protective Services. For us, it's Division of Child and Family Services, DCF. Yeah, something.
Yeah.
I can't, my sister work for it. I don't know.
Right. So yeah, I haven't seen that video. But definitely I can imagine.
I want to see the video.
I can imagine how troubling that is. Especially, we were just talking about that, right? We are just talking about protecting our boys while as much as we protect our girls. Yeah. And how people will, praise things like that or laugh it off or feel like it's nothing when it comes to boys, being involved with.
Yeah, I've been mad about seeing the boy rub the lady, but I know Zay does it sometimes when he'll hug somebody. He'll but he's not doing it knowing, he's just.
Right. Oh, he said, my point is most people were laughing about it, but if it was a girl, it would have been uproar. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't have laughed at it. I know because of the like I said, I'm mad.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say, like I was just saying a second ago, was that I can already imagine that somebody was probably praising it. People in comments are constantly like, "Oh, that's so cute," when it's a little boy, And you know, we were just talking about the situation where boys are molested, boys are raped, boys are touched, you know, inappropriately and things of that nature. Or we're talking about when Boosie's comments about buying his son a hooker and all that kind of thing, and how that was praised. You know, and it's a sad reality where, you know, men are allowed to do certain things, or not men, but boys are allowed to do certain things, and people, you know, just brush it off. But if it happens to a girl, then it's like, you know, the proper response happens then. But you have these boys that are over sexualized or are molested, and then now they don't know what's wrong with the way that they perceive sex or the way that they handle being around women in general, because they may now have a misconceived notion about how to interact with women because of how they were
I don't
raised.
like that. I don't think I would laugh at, like, I don't laugh at the videos where I see little girls like shaking, like even on TikTok when I see little girls like twerking and stuff, and they be little. And even some of the songs that play in the background when these kids are doing these dances, it's like, so yeah,
right,
like,
right.
I've seen little kids do the video that the one with about the little boy Corbin who got killed. I've seen little kids do that, reenact that song, or like, you know, and that bothers me.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and that bothers me. So like for me, seeing that, it would not make me laugh. It would make me like, well, where is his parent and what the fuck? Because that's just not something. This is not something that should be happening, because, you know, like, it's just that's like me doing that, having my child go meet like Boosie did and meet a prostitute.
But, you know, I think that's the biggest thing though, is that, you know, there's a lot of
Are they supposed to be strippers?
Say it again. But that's the problem. There's a lot of there's just a big culture change that is needed in order to respect.
But like, why are they
children's?
Here's my issue.
Innocence, where they need to respect children's innocence, where they need to feel that where they need to feel that it's not okay, or to change that narrative that little boys should be sexualized as if they're men, they're grown men. You know, that's just something that needs to be changed as a society. You know, the hey, he's got a little girlfriend, he's got a girlfriend, and it's a 25-year-old woman. You know, and the boy is 8 years old. That kind of stuff. Yeah. You know, and everybody's laughing about it or making light of it.
Yeah, it's a couple things wrong with that video. I didn't have the volume on, but I have an issue, and I've said this before, about how you are dressed when kids are around, or how moms are dressed when they have their kids with them, right? Okay, so where were y'all going? Y'all at a beach? I'm going to the beach with kids or something? And if you were going with kids, why are you, not that you can't wear what you want, but like, you're on the beach, which there's no way I'm going to be on the beach with Zay with a thong bikini on, walking through the beach with him. Not about to, or going swimming with something like that with him. I may wear that out with friends and grown ass people by myself. Like if we're going out for a girl thing, I may want to have my ass cheeks out. Not that they look great, but I may want to have them out. But that's with my friends. I'm not going to, certain outfits and clothes and attire that I will wear with my friends versus my kids. I'm not going to be out somewhere with my titties out, knowing that my son is probably going to pull my shirt down. Like, just certain things that I'm just not going to do. And I feel like in that video, like, what were y'all doing? Well, y'all got to go to the beach, and if y'all were like, should y'all have been wearing that with little kids being around?
So
where did he learn that from?
Right. So
do that.
So I just watched the video, and yeah, they were dressed in bikinis. They were going out because I saw it was a couple of women that walked by with wraps and stuff, like they were wrapped up in what they call sarongs and bikini covers, cover-ups, and it looked like she was, you know, in the middle of posting her little Instagram picture or something, or Instagram photo. Or
why post that on social media?
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. So there's that, like you said, there's a twofold problem. You know me, I'm not the one to tell a woman what she's going to wear, what she's not going to wear to feel comfortable. I'm not going to do that. You know, if you feel that way, that's great. I don't see anything wrong with having a bikini on with kids. I don't see a problem with that, but you do have to be conscious of what you're allowing and what you're projecting, right? But besides, if it's bikinis or whatever, you could be fully dressed in a what they call a muumuu, and a kid can do something inappropriate. It's how you handle that. And I think that was the problem, is that, you know, partly she was shocked, you know, she was taken aback by what he did, but then for it to be laughed at and not chastised, like, look, you don't do that, and this is a problem. Like you said, not only just where did he learn it, but just why was it allowed, or why was it not?
I would have smacked fire out there, my son.
I mean? Exactly. So, you know, it's something that's again a fundamental problem in society. Like Smooth said earlier, if it had been a little girl that did that, people would have just went ballistic right then and there. You know, and let's say a little girl did that to a guy and the guy just laughed. They would want to kick that guy's behind, right?
Yeah.
You know, it would be problematic if the little girl's parents didn't say something. It would be problematic if the little girl was doing this on a regular basis. It would be something that would be frowned upon on all sides and all aspects.
Yeah.
Like Smooth said, a lot of people in the comments approved. I mean, I'm looking through the comments. There's barely opposition commenting here. There's so many.
I'd be like, well, why would you post something like this? That's fucking, like, why? Like that's
and even posting it, was
certain things everything ain't for everybody yet. Like the fact that you posted it, you thought it was funny.
Yeah, exactly.
It would go viral. So now you got this kid licking the female's ass, and y'all like, where's the parents? Right. And why would y'all be okay with somebody posting this if you guys didn't post it? I don't know. Like, why are you okay with this being posted on social media for everyone to see as your son sat there and licked a grown woman's ass?
Right. And looking any person's butt. It's like, come on, like, really? and you know, I think that, you know, the problem here as well is society. You know, we like I said, I'm not going to go through all these comments. It's, you know, 6,000 comments on here. But for the vast majority of the ones I saw, it might have been close to 100. Besides some bots, I didn't see anybody go, you know what, this is problematic, or this shouldn't have been allowed, or somebody should say something. There was really nothing. There were some people posting things like bigging him up, saying that he was better than her lover and all this other stuff. There's just ridiculousness, because as a society, we're broken. As a society, we have this problematic thought process that this is okay, you know what I mean, and that it should be praised, or his prowess as a growing young man should include things like this, and that's problematic.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Indeed.
Like I said, and to your point, yeah, we shouldn't have to be told how we should dress and what we shouldn't wear. I just feel like it's just certain things I feel like you shouldn't wear with your kids around. Like I wouldn't want to be walking around with lingerie on in my house with my kids there. Like, this is not something that I feel like is appropriate for them to be. I had one of my former friends' mom she used to sit around with lingerie. I was like, well, why? Like, why we have to see like all types, so you just could walk in the house and see a titty? Like, why? I'm at home, I don't see that. And I just feel like it's just certain things that you shouldn't do. It's not that we can tell you how to dress, but like you trying to walk your baby down with a stroller, or your little child down, or little kid for that matter, you're constantly bending down. Why are you wearing this short skirt? And then get mad because your dress is coming up. Like, you knew that before you left the house. And so you basically out here assed out, and you don't want people to approach you a certain way. And it's not to say that they have the right to approach you that way, but this is the energy you're giving off.
Yeah, and it's like, the crazy part is the boy knew what he was doing. So when he gets older and still believes it's okay, then who is to blame? Definitely the parents.
Yeah.
definitely the parents and those around them. They're definitely to blame.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it's learned behavior. It's learned. When he came out, he looked and felt like this was the right thing to do at
He
this
didn't run
moment.
away. He just sat there like, yeah, I did it.
And then when she turned around and got mad at him, she got slightly mad at him, and he turned around and was just laughing about it because he knew that he was not going to get.
He probably did it. It's probably not the first time he did it.
Exactly.
It's probably not.
Mm-hmm. So it's a fundamental community issue.
If my son did it, I would smack fire out of his soul.
Exactly. Be no doubt.
Almost, to me, that's equivalent to spitting on somebody, because fire smacked out of you, you won't never do it again.
Mm-hmm. He'll be scared to do it when he's an adult.
Right. He's like, well, I was gonna look at my mom smack the shit out of me. Yeah, you don't do that.
Right. Mama said, "Don't do this. I never do it again."
Yeah, but see, that's the caveat too, because I come on here and talk about blowing my ass. But if my son here's like pay attention to me one day, and then he's like, "Oh, I gotta do this," and I'm like, "Oh shit." So we gotta watch.
But like you said, it's all about time and place. It's about being appropriate. Like, you wear lingerie, I'm sure, but not with your son around. You wear you wear bikinis with your ass out, but not with your kid around.
Yeah,
or you make sure that he sees you covered up. So it's all about how you present things, as well as then also how you discipline them, right? It's like let's say this was his first time doing that little boy. Let's say this was the first time he's done that. Let's say this was the first time anybody's ever seen him do this. Laughing about it and making light of it and then promoting it on social media is not the way to stop it from happening in the future. You have to nip it in the bud immediately and say, okay, you know what, this is a problem. You should not do this. We understand you don't understand, but this is not the right thing to do. You don't see a person doing X, Y, and Z and deciding to lick their butt or to do whatever, because this is not right. This is inappropriate. Or if your kid ran in on you while you're wearing your lingerie, you might be just in your bedroom deciding to look pretty one day, and you're like, what, I'm just gonna put this on, and your boobs are out, and and your son is like, Mom, and you're like, okay, you know what, you seen too much. But this is the thing, is that this is you knock on my door, you make sure that I'm fully clothed. Mommy wants to be fully clothed when you see her. I don't need you to see me in what you just saw me in. You have to approach it and be serious.
Right now, my son don't give a damn. What you doing?
Yeah, you have to be very serious about it. And that's the thing, is if you're not serious about it, they're not going to take it serious.
Yeah.
If you're not, putting that directive in their head that, hey, you know what, this is something that you shouldn't be doing or shouldn't be seeing at your age, then they'll get it. If you are like, wow, oh well, moving right along, and it's like, okay, they're gonna move right along too.
It's normalized to them, and it's like, okay, that's acceptable.
Exactly, normalized and think it's acceptable. Exactly.
What's gonna be normalized is if I smack fire out of you.
Indeed. Well, you guys have seen all the banners. Make sure you check us out. Once again, get the merchandise. You see, we got the merchandise on, high quality merchandise. This shirt, actually, being that it's a t-shirt, it's actually quite warm. Make sure you get one of these beefy tees. Sonny's got on a t-shirt.
Yeah, mine's big too.
We got crop top hooded sweaters too, which are kind of cute.
Yeah, I made those. Oh yeah, that's one with the logo on it, right?
It's got the logo on it. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to put listen. When I always say listen, I gotta put one on one of those, because I think
I'm gonna get one. You do that, yeah. The ladies will love that. The ladies will love, or some guys will love it too. So make sure you guys go over there and cop that. We got masks. We still in the pandemic. We got masks. Make sure you get the mask on. We have glasses. We got drinking glasses. Make sure
pillows.
Pillows. I just ordered me a pillow. I got me a pillow too.
Then we get don't we have what's the bags? The tote bags.
We got tote bags. We got fanny packs. If you still into the fanny pack, we got fanny packs.
Yeah, we got the other masks that are kind of like a neck thing holding the winter.
Yeah, the neck gaiter. Yep. Yeah, we got neck gaiters. So make sure you guys go grab those. So yeah, go over to gftradio.creator-spring.com. Get all your logoed and slogan merchandise. I got on the we just gave you the fans perspective, which you can catch on Sunday nights at 10 p.m. So make sure y'all check us out on that. The boys will be here talking about all the sports. Sonny's got the content shirt on. Got all the shows on there. So make sure y'all check that out. And if you need some hype gear, make sure you go over to Custom Hustle World, where Hype can hook you up with some custom hustle.
You got sweatsuits. I want one. I'm
about to start a GoFundMe. The joggers, so make sure y'all check out the joggers.
I'm about to start a GoFundMe. Maybe I can afford the joggers right now.
No doubt.
I said he gonna drop them. I'm like, I just pay every bill. God damn you! I gotta start a GoFundMe.
Right. Well, speaking of our other hosts, make sure y'all check out Smooth. He was just in the comments over at E. Trenton Groomy on Twitter. He's over at thekingstruth.com where his blog is. You can go check that out. All the great content that he posts over there, as well as the King's Truth on Snap. You can check out Hype over at I Am Hype on IG and Twitter. The How to Hustle podcast with Hype is here every Tuesday at 2 p.m. on YouTube Live or on YouTube premieres. You can also check out Custom Hustle World for all the logoed and custom jerseys, jackets, and joggers, as well as H2H Cleaners, his cleaning company. Sunny, you want to tell them where they can find you?
And it's your girl Sunny. You can follow me at IamSunny_D, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and TikTok. I will be back. I got stuff lined up. Also visit me at my website, unreservedlyme.com. I'm doing a lot of I got asked to do some features with somebody.
Oh, okay, no doubt.
We'll see.
It's your boy Willie Styles in the building. Get at me everywhere at Willie Styles on IG and Twitter. I'm Willie.Styles on Snapchat and TikTok. Find me over at gamingwithstyles.com where I'm playing video games various times throughout the week. Visit me at stylesradio.com where you can listen to all the hot tracks that I'm listening to as well, or visit me at williestyles.info for all my links. Y'all know what it is. This is GFT Radio Show. Have a good night.